I'm not comfortable. I'm not where I want to be. And I know that. I'm almost frustratingly so. Frustratingly so.
If you like this episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button.
Welcome. I'm glad that you're here listening to a fantastic Friday solo episode of the Heart Healthy Hustle. It's Friday though right now, which means we have Saturday. I'm going to do an interesting change up today. I'm kind of on my way home from a long week of work, out here killing the game. Got to do what you got to do, put in the work, put in the time, enjoy your life. Blessed to be healthy enough to do so. Grateful for that opportunity. Always saying thank you every single day to God, because it's definitely something not to take for granted. You know, it can all be taken in a blink of an eye. And here's what I'm trying to say. I'm walking to my vehicle and I'm like, all right, focusing in on what I need to do with my podcast. So I need to outsource not only the editing. So if you're listening to this and you're a podcast editor, hit up your boy. Again, the Friday episodes are my journal of my journey. Share things with you as I do them and experiment so that you can be benefited as well. You are dealing with some of the same things depending on what you're working on. So I'm working on this, right? Working full time. I got my podcast, everything that goes into that. And I do everything, still everything. Scheduling, contacting, everything. I do it. And I use tools that really help with that. So I have to use tools like that to leverage my time. That in and of itself isn't enough anymore. I now need outsourcing. I need to delegate. And here's why I'm recording this episode. Let me slow down. I'm recording this episode because, one, it's going to help me get my thoughts straight. I've been talking out loud to myself. I took like almost a 10-minute walk and I was talking out loud. By the way, motion is lotion. And as you walk, your brain moves a lot more. Like your physical brain actually does. It's science here. Science. This isn't bro science. Real facts. I'm going to start cooking with gas. I had some great barbecue today. Outside of appearing ADD, whew, man, maybe I should look into getting a co-host to stay focused. All right, John, let's get straight. All right, hey, yo. All right, so here's where I was going with this, guys. The thing is, I know the importance now of letting things go, delegating. I had a great conversation, by the way. Shout out to my friend. If you hear this episode, you know who you are, brother. Thanks for the call yesterday. We talked. I won't get into detail about his operation he has going. They have a very successful business in the area. Really proud of them. They're killing the game. They're absolutely killing the game, and they're great people as well. Really honored to know them. We were talking, and he was sharing with me the first thing that he's hitting new levels of achievement, and I'm asking him some questions. I'm like, what are the main keys, right? He's in a real world business, by the way. No disrespect to MLMs. Once again, I know I have listeners who are in MLMs and in network marketing. Much respect to you. I respect the hustle. But when I say real world business, I mean there was no franchise even. Like not even a franchise. Like there was no blueprint. There was no follow these steps and it should work. There was none of that. It was making it up as he went. And so when I say that, I'm talking about real down home, straight up old school business tactics and what worked. So I'm asking him, right? I'm like, man, tell me, man, share with me. What are your stuff? And he's saying to me, he says, man, first thing he says to me, I said, what are the keys? Obviously it goes without saying your product is superior, your customer service is superior, but what are the keys? Wow, there's a rainbow in front of me right now. I kid you not. But I'm totally hands-free, by the way, driving safe. Don't worry about that. Anyone listening who's like, dude, you shouldn't be doing that, putting people on the road in danger. No worries there, hands-free right now, baby. The first thing he tries to do, it's good to start out doing everything yourself. That's a good thing. Multiple people have said this. He said yesterday, the first thing he would do after he did everything himself and learned it was duplicate himself as quickly as possible. So now what I'm saying is, I'm known for quite some time I need to start outsourcing the editing for my podcast. As long ago as 6 months ago, I was researching this. I was in contact, Skype calls with actual people who do this for professional living, who I was trying to reach out, multiple people. So yeah, he said he would duplicate himself as quickly as possible. So I need to duplicate myself. I'm just being honest and open with you. I need to duplicate myself in terms of editing the show, and it's hard to let go of it. This is what I'm dealing with right now. I feel romantic about the editing process. I like being able to control that, but I understand that it's important to let it go. And what's amazing about delegation, it's so fast. It is so fast. I've delegated things out before that I wasn't scared about it not going great. So I was like, let let me test this out and try it out. Like logos, right? I've hired people probably 5 to 6 different times to make logos for my different endeavors, and I'm glad I did, because they came up with some stuff that's better than what I would have made. But when I look back at all these things, whenever I delegate, I've also delegated things like closed captions. I've hired that out, and man, one day turnaround, dirt cheap, perfectly done, timed perfectly. So I was blown away, because I could have done that, but it would have taken me over an hour and a half to do it, even just for a 3-minute video. So what I'm saying is, the delegation in the past has been amazing. So I think I'm going to be pleasantly surprised how this expedites my processes, because if I can tell somebody, hey, I need this podcast back by the end of next week, so that I can have and I'll try to have these done ahead of time as well, like 2 to 3 in the queue, if not more. Should probably have more than that, just so I always have one completely edited and ready. The next thing is outsourcing that stuff. So I need to outsource the editing of the actual audio files. I'm almost a year and a half into this, because I started interviewing people September of 2017 for this show launch in 2018. Wow, I'm still doing everything. That's not good. It's like, well, why do you need to do this? Not only just for my own peace of mind, but for the sake of speed and giving me free mind space to execute on ideas. I don't need to be spending my time mindlessly editing for 1.5 to 2 hours on an episode, on a 1-hour episode at that. And you might say, oh, well, why does it take so long? I provide you with a professional finished product, period. I want the customer experience that people have with the audio of my podcast show to be second to none. I want it to be excellent. I don't necessarily care that it is the absolute best, but man, I want it to be excellent, and you better believe I'm going to make sure that it is. I mean, you could go on Upwork.com tonight, find someone that could do anything digital that you need done, editing your website, etc., which is my next point. And it's all, and money aside, like let's say you hired the most in-demand, highest paid, most pricey freelancer to do the job. There's some kind of resistance there, and I don't know what to call it other than resistance. Weird, because I was born blue collar. I was born do the work, grind harder, and you'll do better. And it's not necessarily true, and I understand that more and more. You know what's nuts? Every single job that I've had since my high school job has been physically less taxing, in order. So that job was the hardest job that I've had in terms of actual physical work. And then it got a little easier. Oh, actually, a lot easier with my indoor job as a rehab specialist. But then it got even easier, where I just walked around using in a sales tech job, and now it's even easier. But each time I got paid more and more and more. So the amazing thing is, with less work, you should be making more and earning more. But find ways to do less and less work. And it's not just about doing less work, it's about having that work be done, but not necessarily by you. So you're replacing yourself as quickly as possible, and then you get that done, hiring replacements for yourself, duplicating yourself to the best that you can, trusting other people, and letting it go so that you can focus on the key, which is executing on ideas. I need to do that, and that's where I'm at. I'm just being real with you guys. Delegating the audio editing, right? And then I need to delegate and here's what my mind is trying to do to excuse me from doing it, is to try to overwhelm me. And this is what I mean. I tell myself right now, even as I record this, I need to outsource all the editing. Okay? Outsource it. Okay, fine, I'll outsource it. And then I say, okay, what else do I need? In the process, do I need to outsource? It would be really great if I could outsource all of the post write-ups for my blog, for the actual blog write-ups. And so I need to outsource that write-up process as well. But then my brain starts trying to do the overwhelm thing, where it's like you're trying to carefully pour this perfectly curated cup of Arnold Palmer iced tea and lemonade into the same glass, and you're carefully doing it. You're not equally, okay, whatever. You're trying to pour into a glass a cup of iced tea or lemonade, and you're pouring that glass, and what happens is, instead of pouring, your mind starts to come in like a left hand filled with a pitcher and just start dumping in while you're trying to carefully fill up your glass. Just taking your time with your right hand. Your left hand tries to come in and wreck the show, your mind, by pouring a whole bunch of extra overwhelm in. and your cup just overflows and you're like, all right, forget it, and then you just walk away because you're so frustrated. I won't allow that, and here's why I'm recording this episode, is to call my mind out, call myself out, and to say, don't overdo it. Keep it super simple. That's what has worked for you thus far. Keep it super simple. Don't worry about all the stuff you have to do. Just start very small. Start by outsourcing one episode per month, 2 episodes per month. At that point in time, start worrying about the next step, which is outsourcing the write-ups. Once you outsource the write-ups, your next thing, and why I feel overwhelmed, is because I need to revamp my entire, I need to revamp my website so it's more effective, so that my write-up style will change when I revamp my website. And it's like, all right, well then you're gonna have to pay for your website to be getting a revamp, and you're gonna have to hire a web designer, and that's all this extra steps just coming from my initial inquiry of, I know I need to start outsourcing my show. And it's incredible to me, but that's really all it is, and that's really where it all came from. It's amazing. Many people will allow that, including my past self. Many people allow that overwhelm without realizing it. This is the key of why I'm even recording this episode. It's all coming together right now, right this moment. That overwhelm is a beautiful thing, because it's your mind taking so much action, trying to problem solve so hard that it's overdoing it. Appreciate that you can think so sharply and think of all these solution-oriented things, but then pick one thing and do that. And that's where I'm at. I know in my mind that it's going to change everything. We get comfortable. Even though I say I'm nowhere near where I want to be, we get comfortable, and I agree, enjoy your present season, be content. But if you're someone who wants more out of life, you know there's more, and you need to be doing more for others and helping and serving more, and you get to expand your reach and all these things, don't allow that overwhelm to distract you from taking action on one small thing. Here's what I meant by I might even be comfortable. I'm not comfortable. I'm not where I want to be, and I know that. I'm almost frustratingly so. But yet there is still a level of I'm comfortable with my current setting subconsciously, to an extent that is enough to almost derail me from, oh, this goes so deep, I don't want to lose this thought, where it's almost enough to convince me that, oh, well, let that I'm going deep here on you guys. I'm going deep here right now. Okay, listen to this. So it's like the overwhelm isn't the main thing. The main thing that can really push you off the edge of even going for it and at all, in terms of like make you sit down and just be like, forget it, is this second voice coming in where it's like, once I delegate all of this out, once I do that, everything changes, because I'll be freed up to execute on ideas. I'll be free to do that. And okay, big deal, you execute on your ideas then. I'll have the time then to take action on building the business that I tell myself I want. And that will change everything. Whether I succeed or fail, it's going to be an incredible learning experience. That aside, the amazing thing is about this is that having the self-awareness, having the self-respect and integrity in believing what you know is true and know is right and know is the right thing to do, having that integrity to then take the time and have the self-respect and self-discipline to build and develop the self-awareness necessary to have these kind of conversations and almost meditation journaling sessions, okay, with yourself or with others for 20 minutes at the most, to talk about this stuff and talk it out and realize and recognize the lies of the overwhelm, and then the most dangerous part of it of all, which is the subconscious comfort that you don't even think you have. So I'm not comfortable where I'm at. I don't want to live where I'm living long term. I don't want to drive the car I'm driving long term. I don't want to make the kind of money I'm making right now long term in my life as a whole. All of that said, there's a level of comfort subconsciously that's saying, oh, things are pretty good right now, John. Be grateful. Yeah, enjoy it. Yeah, you're doing great. And all that's fine. Maybe that is even true, but that isn't what I logically believe. I logically believe that I'm proud but not satisfied, and not proud like arrogant, but, you know, confident and proud of what I've been doing, but I'm not satisfied. That's what I logically believe, okay? I logically believe that I'm not satisfied. But subconsciously, my mind might be getting a little tricky here, saying, oh, maybe you are a little satisfied here. What's wrong with here? Nothing really, except it's not where I know I need to get to be going. You never really reach the destination, right? But it is that constant pursuit that's so beautiful and keeps life so engaging, which keeps life so more prone to happiness and prone to joy. I do believe in bliss. I do believe in a blissful dissatisfaction. The homie Ed Milet talks about the blissful dissatisfaction of constant pursuit, and I think it's a worthy cause to live by. Maybe not live for completely. I'm not saying idolize it. Don't get it twisted. That's the episode. That's today's episode. That's where I'm at. My mind's going sputters right now. Going on a little bit of low sleep. I'll confess that. I need to get back on track with my sleep schedule. And a long day of work. Left work late. And now I'm headed to the gym. I don't want to do this, but I am going to go put in some work. Do a leg day. Get in there. Make it happen. And get a killer weekend in here, guys. It's Friday. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy Saturday. Have a productive and fun Saturday. I hope that you get some good times, good sessions of laughter. I've had some good laughter lately. I've really enjoyed laughing recently, watching some corny YouTube videos. One that I watched without even realizing how I landed on it. Well, I clicked it, but I don't know why YouTube suggested it. It was something like news channel bloopers or, news bloopers. It was so funny. It was killing me. I was laughing so hard. That's it for this episode. Live wide open and Godspeed. Fearless.